Peace and light, everyone, and hello, all mindful souls. I want to welcome you to Mindful Mondays, nurturing your inner garden. I'm Dr. Jackie, your guide on this journey of self discovery and well being. In the tranquil space of our podcast, we'll sow seeds of mindfulness, tend to the garden of our minds, and cultivate moments of peace to carry us throughout the week. Let's start things off with some words of wisdom as we begin. Let these words inspire your day. The present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you are attentive, you will see it. That's how. Today, let's be attentive and embrace the joy within each mindful breath. Before engaging in any mindfulness practices, consider your personal health and consult with a healthcare provider if needed. Mindfulness complements but does not replace professional mental health care. I want to give a special thank you to our sponsor, PIMS Balance Counseling and Coaching. Visit PIMS Balance at pimsbalances.com for a glimpse into a balanced and harmonious tomorrow. PIMS Balance's support is integral to the mindfulness journey that we embark on together. So let's dive right in and embark on a brief exploration of mental health, an essential aspect of our well being, which is often shrouded in silence. Mental illness affects millions worldwide, yet the stigma surrounding it often prevents open conversations. Imagine mental health as a vast landscape where each person navigates their unique journey. Just as we readily discuss physical ailments, it's time to break the silence around mental health. Let's replace judgment with empathy, misconceptions with understanding. Mental illness is not a weakness, it's a part of the human experience. It's facing storms within that others may not see. It's courageously battling unseen battles, often in the quiet corners of the mind. As we embrace a culture of compassion, remember that everyone's mental health journey is different. A kind word, a listening ear, or a simple acknowledgement can create ripples of support. Let's cultivate an environment where seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. If you are someone you know is struggling, don't hesitate to reach out. Mental health professionals, friends, and family can be pillars of support. Break the silence. Be a beacon of understanding. And let's build a world where mental health is met with compassion, not judgment. This has been a brief moment to reflect on mental health, a reminder that your well being matters. Take care of your mental health and remember, you're not alone in this journey. So, we're going to segue now into one of my favorite parts of any show that I'm a part of, and that is a moral story. I don't know about you, but moral stories help me kind of do a checks and balances, helps me figure out causes and effects when it comes to my spiritual walk, my mental health, or whatever. So I hope that this moral story that I'm going to share with you and the explanation will be some kind of focus or clarity for you. Today's moral story is titled The Lotus Blooms. Let me go back. I said will be a focus. I hope that today's moral story can help you focus better and to bring some kind of clarity when it comes to your mental health. And so, the story today, the lotus blooms amidst the mud and water. The lotus rises, untainted and beautiful. This symbolizes resilience and purity emerging from challenging circumstances. May it remind us that even in difficult times, we have the power to rise and bloom with grace. And the story reads: Once upon a time, in the heart of a vast and murky pond, there nestled a humble seed, the potential for beauty and grace hidden within its core. This seed was destined to become a lotus flower, a symbol of purity, resilience, and enlightenment. As the seasons change, the pond faced challenges, storms, heavy rains, and periods of darkness. In these trying times, the tiny seed lay anchored in the muddy bed, seemingly dormant, yet quietly gathering strength and resilience. One day, as the sun broke through the clouds, the seed stirred. Slowly, a delicate shoot emerged from the mire, reaching toward the sunlight above. Despite the adversity of the surroundings, the lotus seedling continued its ascent, unblemished by the muddy waters. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. The lotus continued to grow, its stem extending further and further until it finally breached the water's surface. And there, bathed in the warmth of the sunlight, the lotus unfurled its petals, pristine, untainted by the mud that surrounded it. The explanation: the story of the lotus blooming is a timeless metaphor for the resilience of the human spirit. In the face of life's challenges and adversities, much like the lotus seed in the murky pond, we carry the potential for beauty and grace within us. The muddy waters symbolize the difficulties, hardships, and uncertainties that life often presents. Despite these challenges, the lotus seed remains steadfast, using the difficulties as nutrients for growth rather than allowing them to hinder its potential. The emergence of the lotus above the water surface reflects the triumph of resilience and inner strength. It teaches us that even in the darkest of times, we can rise above, unfurling our inner beauty and grace. The lotus blossoms untainted, symbolizing purity and enlightenment, reminding us that our challenges do not define us. Ultimately, the tale of the lotus blooming invites us to embrace our own journey of resilience. It encourages us to navigate through life's muddy waters with grace, knowing that within us lies the potential to rise above adversity and bloom with beauty. I hope this story brings some clarity to your life when it comes to the challenges that you face. And maybe it can help you focus a little bit more on the things that you need to do in order to overcome whatever challenges that you are facing. Today's affirmations, there are three, and I'll read them all. Number one: I am a garden of peace, cultivating mindfulness with each breath. Number two: in the soul of my mind, I plant seeds of positivity and growth. And number three: like the lotus, I too rise above challenges, resilient and beautiful. Today's journal prompts, there are three, and I'll share them all. Number one: reflect on a moment from today when you felt fully present. What contributed to that sense of mindfulness? And number two: in your inner garden, identify weeds that hinder your well being. How can you uproot them and nurture positivity. And the last one, number three, write down three affirmations that resonate with your current journey. How can you integrate them into your daily life? Today's call to action. As we explore mindfulness today, I invite you to take a mindful pause. Whether it's a conscious breath, a nature walk, or a moment of gratitude, embrace the practice and share your mindful moments using hashtag Mindful Mondays podcast. Let's inspire each other. Suggestions for today's episode. Consider incorporating mindfulness into your routine. Start with a short practice and gradually expand. Explore guided meditations, mindful walks, or simply savoring a cup of tea. Find what resonates with you and infuse it into your daily life. Moving right along, in this episode, I'm going to share a summary. And if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please hit me up. You can hit me up here on Clubhouse. You can hit me up on Spotify, YouTube, Rumble, Instagram, and let me know what your thoughts are. In this episode of Mindful Mondays today, I took us on a journey of self discovery and resilience with the theme, The Lotus Blooms. Through the enchanting tale of a lotus's seed journey from the murky depths to the radiant surface, we learned profound lessons about inner strength and the beauty that can emerge from life's challenges. The story unfolds in a vast pond, symbolizing the complexities of life. The lotus seed nestled in the mud represents the potential for grace and beauty within each of us. As the seed faces storms and darkness, it quietly gathers strength, mirroring our ability to harness resilience through tough times. The lotus seed's gradual ascent toward the sunlight is a metaphor for our journey of growth and self discovery. Despite the muddy waters, the lotus remains untainted, teaching us that our adversities can make a opportunity to serve as nutrients for personal development. So this was a transformative episode, and the tale of the lotus blooming was like a journey for us to contemplate our self discovery and resilience. It concluded with practical tips. And so we're going to conclude this episode with tips on cultivating mindfulness. I shared some affirmations to help nurture our inner strength and journal prompts for us to do some self reflection. I have a call to action. I'd like to invite you to embrace your own journey of growth and share your mindful moments using hashtag Mindful Mondays podcast. And with that said, we're going to wrap up today's episode. I am Dr. Jackie. I'm inviting you to join us next Monday for another enriching episode as we continue to cultivate mindfulness and nurture our inner gardens. Mindful Mondays is available on YouTube, Spotify, Rumble, and Instagram, or you can subscribe and just follow. You don't have to participate, just listen. Your input really is appreciated and it counts. I implore you to become a part of our mindful community. Your journey to inner peace begins right here on this podcast. As we conclude another enriching episode of Mindful Mondays, nurturing your inner garden, may the seeds of mindfulness continue to blossom within you. I'm Dr. Jackie, and I look forward to connecting with you next week. Until then, nurture your inner garden and carry the tranquility with you. And next week's episode is gonna be a really good episode that's gonna dig deeper into the theme of cultivating resilience through mindfulness. So join me next Monday for another episode of Mindful Mondays, Mental Health Mondays, where we'll explore this wonderful theme, cultivating resilience. See you next Monday. Thank you for joining me and be well. Peace and light.